but you already talked a little bit about the transition, because the transition period from player to assistant coach, from assistant coach to head coach. You mentioned the first speech you had to give when you became the head coach. It's a challenge. But what do you remember as a first-time head coach during the first full season? The biggest struggles you felt like as a head coach for the first time that you really felt like you were challenged the most on?
Well, first of all, by being the boss first time and not understanding the situation. For example, right? So I was head coach in January. Then I was inherited with a team. It was not my team, and then you have to, in Žalgiris, you have to build over from the players who are up and coming. Obviously, you don't have a lot of money. You cannot compete with the top clubs in the money, but you need to find the players. So at this point, these players are coming, and the first 3 or 4 months, they're in absolute shock about the EuroLeague. They're in absolute shock. They are too slow, whether physically or with their decision making, and you just need time. You just need time. And people say my system is on the complicated side. It could be. I mean, we do try to have a lot of options and everything, but you still try to put the options in at the decent time. You're not going to put 20 different systems and offenses and defenses. So I was struggling to just understand, like, what is the best way, really? Like, do I sign like veteran players that, anyway, it's very difficult to sign the veteran players because they all demand a lot of money. Everybody wants a short thing, a veteran, so they are more expensive. Or do we go there? And we always try to give the right balance and everything. But I was struggling to understand when these guys will come about. And you see that in December they started. Okay, so this was the first year. My second year, I was already more calm, that in December they come around. Just be patient. Very important that my president who had good communication with me, he's talking a lot. He's seeing the same thing. So, like, again, what we started the podcast with, everybody going in the right direction, in the same direction. Everybody's present. Everybody's interested. It's extremely important. Not just one president coming from the suite sometimes. Hey man, what's going on here? Why are we losing?
Without having seen a practice.
Exactly. If you come to practice, if you talk to me sometimes, maybe you will understand why the hell we're losing. So the second, the third year, you already see that, December, January, these new players come around. So, and you know that if these players will develop like you're developing them, they will leave in 1 or 2 years. And it happened, with over the 5 years in Žalgiris or something like this. So like I was struggling to understand, oh my God, like, did I sign the right players? Did I, it was just inexperience. Again, we're going back, inexperience. I don't know if I'm doing the right job. And then we were losing probably the 4th year. We lost 9 EuroLeague games in a row. And to tell you the truth, when you analyze it and everything, it was not that much panic because we already knew that we are playing good. Our players are developing. I mean, I'm not going to tell you, it was really tough moments to lose 9 in a row and everybody was talking. But from my side, it was already less panic. I mean, even talking with the president, okay, look at this is why we're losing. This is why we're doing this. All these things are a little bit not in our control, injury there and there. So again, it's now it's, you already understand a lot of things a little bit better in my case.
But trusting the process with the experience, just
trusting the process. Sure. Yeah, sure. Trusting what you're doing.
Is there any good way? I'm trying to think of like assistant coaches becoming head coaches, but is there any good way or really the right way to prepare yourself for the head coaching position for the first time?
Well, listen, the thing about me is I finished basketball and I was working obviously for Krapikas, and Krapikas would leave for the national team every summer. So the first 1 month and a half, he will come back like 1 week before the regular season starts. Yeah. So for me as an assistant, I had 5 weeks to be a head coach immediately. Immediately I became a head coach. Also was a lot of sleepless nights for me because I was not sure about practice. I was constantly watching my practices. Now I don't do it very often. I don't go rewind my practices very often. Sometimes assistants, they would show you the clips of the practices that we did good, especially if we're trying something new, we will do it, yes. But then I was watching all my practices, see what's going on, communication. How is practice moving? How is the flow of the practice? Is it intense practice? Is it not? So, you start from the ground thing. And for me, there's 5 weeks, 2 years in a row. I had 5 weeks to be the head coach, while I was still assistant coach. I mean, I was coaching tournaments. I was dealing with the traveling, dealing with practice schedule, meals, everything. I was being head coach for 5 weeks. So for me, it was amazing.
Yeah. That's a good foundation.
Yeah. So when I went in that January immediately, I mean, more or less, I was okay. I'm sure I'm better now just because I'm more sure and I've seen more things in general.
Mm-hmm.
But that helped me a lot.